So now let's talk about accessing your path. So you've taken your assessment, you've got your path. You always start again by clicking the Pathways button, and you can either click Access my path through Basecamp or go to Basecamp. They're going to take you to the same place, which is this page here. Just go to the center button where it's Access my path through Basecamp and log in as a member. Once you do that, what I find easiest is just to scroll down and choose Open Curriculum. Right into the curriculum. And in the curriculum, once you say get into your curriculum, the first thing it's going to do is bring you to an overview of your curriculum. So if you look on the left here, you can toggle between different levels of your curriculum to see what projects are available. So Sarosh, you had wondered about this. You can see all the projects for levels that you are on or that you've already completed. For levels that you have not gotten to, like I'm still on level 3, so I can see the overview of what's available for level 4, but I can't launch it to see in detail what's available. There is, through that Learn More button, under Resources and Tutorials, if you go under there, you can pull up a very abbreviated purpose and summary of each project, but from what I've seen, it's so abbreviated, I don't know that it provides much more information than what you see here.
So now, does this mean you have to do these projects in the order that they present?
The only time that is required is level 1. You must do your icebreaker before you have the ability to activate any other projects. But past icebreaker, I have not done any of these in order.
You mean past level 1 or past icebreaker?
Past icebreaker.
Okay.
So even here, I think I actually did do evaluation and feedback before I did researching and presenting, but you don't need to. You can do them in the order that makes sense for your life. If you're using Toastmasters in order to be prepared for work, use it in the way that's going to be most beneficial to you.
But if you were going to proceed to another pathway, you would have to get all of those completed.
I don't know if it's possible to have 2 paths open at once. I would suspect it is.
It is. If somebody is in 2 different clubs, they get 2 different paths. And you have to make those arrangements, I think, through Toastmasters International.
Okay.
So I'm in 2 different paths, just finishing level 2 on both of those paths.
Okay. So it is possible, yes.
How many levels are there in each path?
5. So every path has 5 levels. The projects that are available within each level vary by path. Level 1 is fairly standard across the paths, but I don't know that it's exactly the same 3 projects for every path. I think I've seen some paths where it is not these 3 projects on level 1.
And as you're going through your 5 things in your path that you choose one project and then you're on to the next level 2, choose another project done,
No,
on to 3.
you need to finish every project within a level, and then you need to mark that level as complete before you can access the projects at the next level. So I can't get to levels 4 and 5 to activate projects because I have not completed level 3.
You can't jump around.
You can jump around within a level, but not between levels.
Are each of these speeches? Icebreaker is evaluation feedback a speech?
Yes. So they're projects, and the reason that they consider them projects is that sometimes a project will have multiple components beyond a speech. So for research and evaluation, it's actually an excellent example of that, where the project involves 3 components. First, you give a speech on any topic and you get evaluated on it. Then you take that feedback and adapt your speech or your presentation style, incorporating the feedback into a second speech. Can be the same speech or a slightly adapted speech.
So first you give your icebreaker, and then you can re-give your icebreaker.
No, so these are distinct projects. So the icebreaker is one project, evaluation and feedback is a second project. This second project, which I've just opened here, has multiple portions to it. You have your first speech, you have your second speech where you've incorporated the feedback that you received on your first speech, and then the third component is you are a speech evaluator, so you learn how to give feedback.
Ah, I see, okay.
And there's really good training.
Yes.
When you go through the modules, they train you about how to be an evaluator.
Yes.
And so those are all good to go through.
So you brought up this window just by clicking on that.
This is the page that I left off on the project the last time I was in here. So when you open a project, it will default to the page that you were on the last time you were in the project. This is a button that is magical. This is your table of contents. This move to another section tells you every page within the project, and it lets you bounce around. So one thing that you must do with every project is assess your skills before and assess your skills after. You have to do both of those things in order to complete a project. That's how you indicate to Toastmasters that you did the work. I am actually in level 3 right now. The reason that this button doesn't look clicked is that will only show up as a red check mark once I complete level 3.
Okay, got it. So then I don't know why that was happening.
Yeah. This bar here indicates what level you're on, as well as up here it will tell you what level
Okay.
you're on.
So Lisa, is there a place where you load in the name of your speeches when you did it? Assessments?
That is optional.
Oh.
So if you want, and that's something that we'll do afterwards, you can actually upload your speech and your evaluation into your educational transcript, but because of privacy laws, it is not a requirement.
Huh.
So you don't need to do that, but if you want to use Basecamp as a way of keeping track of all of that, you can.
So so basically you don't, unless you do the other thing, there's no proof of you doing these things. You could just go through and click, 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 I'm all done?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
However, in order for you to complete a level, the VP of Education or someone else like a president that has access to Basecamp has to approve you and say, yes, they've completed this level. So if you click, 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 and your VP of Ed notices, she didn't actually give any of these speeches, then there'll be some questioning going on.
Huh, okay.
Click launch,
Okay.
that's what will bring up your project.
Okay.
So the first thing that you need to do is activate a project. Once you activate a project, then you have the ability to launch it.
So then I've given my speech. I come back to my computer, and how do I get the little check next to that?
You get the check by when you do your post-project assessment, there'll be an opportunity. Remember how there was a submit button for me to click? Once you click that submit button, it's probably going to tell me, if I go back here, that I completed this project, even though I haven't.
So that's the last step to get your check mark, is to fill out that
And to hit the submit button.
evaluation and submit. Okay.
Yeah. And if you don't hit the submit, then it won't show.
And is that where I get a cue to, okay,
No. So see how now it says that I've completed this project? And I haven't. I haven't given my speech, I haven't.
So that's just a glitch in the system.
Well, the system is based on trust. This is for your benefit.
Uh-huh.
Just because it's got a check mark doesn't mean I'm not going to go back and do it. This is the speech that I'm going to be giving on October 8th in order to say how this communication plan that I built worked and what I learned from it. Once I do 2 electives and those show up as clicked, then we'll get to the part where it will show level completion. So if you go to the handout, because I can't show you level completion right now, the way that it works with level completion is first you activate it like you would activate a project, then you launch it like you would launch a project, and then you mark as complete. And that's it. And it's 3 buttons in a row. You don't really do anything. You just got to click all 3 of those buttons. Once those 3 buttons are clicked, then the VP of Education gets an email or some notification says you have things to approve in Basecamp. Once the VP of Ed or president or someone with Basecamp rights approves that you've completed this level, then you'll get the check mark next to level 2 or 3 or 1 or whatever it is that says that it's completed, and you'll be able to access the projects in the next level. I think one of the best practices is do your launch, your activate, launch, mark as complete, and shoot an email to your VP of Ed to say that you've finished it so that they know to look for it. Any questions about completing a level?
So you really don't get credit till you go in there and fill out your, 'cause I did my icebreaker,
Yep.
now I have to do some entry.
You need to assess your skills after and hit the submit button, and then you'll have the ability to do the other projects within that level will have activate buttons next to them, so you can go in and look at those. There is this little gear button up here that will let you go to your account. I learned from Toastmasters that everything on this screen is completely optional, but you have an ability, if you want, to go in and mark when you've completed various meeting roles. They have no impact on your ability to complete a level, complete a path. There's no ability to put in more than 1 date at a time. So whether you choose to use this or not is completely up to you.